Welcome back to another Sledder Cast podcast. We're in Rexburg, Idaho at our HQ headquarters. We've got a couple guests in the shop today. We caught them like a day before Dylan's heading out, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
The party's over.
Party is just about over, so it was today or no day, and we wouldn't, be seeing you guys again until like heydays probably. But so we're glad that you guys were able to carve out some time. I know we kind of had it on the calendar, but appreciate you guys coming in. We've got a running order of questions for you guys. Okay, we are drilling you guys with questions, and so we're gonna just kind of jump right in, go down the list, and I think it's gonna be some pretty good content because selfishly, it was a lot of things that I wanted like to learn about you guys. So hopefully, there's at least one other person out there.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about some of these topics. I mean, we haven't really had a chance to go into depth on a lot of this stuff, so I think it'll be cool.
Should be cool. Yeah, thank you for having us on, Trevor. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. So, okay, guys, so we're starting things off here like a season recap. Like you said, party's over basically. Give us just like a really quick season recap as far as like when did the season start? Any new faces that you got to ride with this year that are memorable, all the different places that you rode, right? Sleds. You did kind of your tour all across the North America, the country.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast. And so just give us kind of like a brief, recap of how the season went.
Yeah,
Sure.
We'll try and keep it brief. There's been a lot. I mean, we've lived a lifetime this season. This is season 9 of Boondock Nation that we've been filming for. So we do a half-hour broadcast TV series that airs in the fall, and that's how Boondock Nation started. We can get into that later, but each year we set out with the goal to film in different snowmobile destinations, and this year we picked several new destinations across North America, and we chronicle the whole journey on YouTube, with our weekly series, and then in the fall, the broadcast season comes out. So that took us all over the place. I mean, you want to start with December and us coming out here?
Yeah, so our winter, like, chronological riding videos start, like, December 1st. That's our first day on the snow. We take 2 days to drive out here just because it's, like, 22 hours from Wisconsin. Get out here, have a couple of days to move in, and then we start shooting and going as hard as we can with whatever snow we got. So we got out here. We rode with Dave McClure. We were staying at his place when we moved right out in December, and took advantage of some of the early snow that we got. But then, as you know, it was a dry spell for most of December.
Yeah, so we found great snow over in Teton Valley. We were riding out of Stephen Clark's Teton Base Camp quite a bit towards the end of December and doing like the rest of our sled builds there. We had so many sleds this year. I ordered 3 sleds. Dylan ordered 2. Jordan had 2 sleds, and we just were cranking on just wrenching every night throughout December trying to get the sleds like built up and ready. So December didn't include much travel outside of our local area here, but we were bouncing all over just trying to find those little pockets of isolated good snow.
Yep.
So once we kind of get the sleds shaken down and built in December, we head back to Wisconsin, where we're from, for the holidays, for Christmas with the fam, and then come right back out after New Year's. And we got a nice dumping of snow right at the beginning of January, and that's when kind of the tour began. So we finished up any work on the sleds and then hit the road and headed to like the central part of Idaho, and rode with Willie Elam in like the Fairfield area, like the Sawtooths.
Yeah.
So I've been to the Sawtooths in the summertime, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Is it the same way in the wintertime? Like
we have yet to get up to like Stanley and like Sun Valley, like the proper like Sawtooths up there that I think everyone really knows, and that's definitely on our list. But like the Fairfield stuff, you can ride in. It's a long ways to get there, but you ride in, you're riding them, and it's cool. There's a lot of snow, a surprising amount of snow when we were there, and the consistency was good, and no tracks too because it's just so remote.
It's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, middle of Idaho.
Yeah, and Willie Elam, he's a friend of ours that we've gotten to know over the years. He's a freestyle guy on moto and sleds, X Games medalist, another fly rider, super cool dude. So it was cool to kind of check out his backyard. And from there, we continued on to Oregon. and that was the West Coast side of the Coast to Coast tour. So went out and rode Lapine, which was cool. I mean, we were just south of Mount Bachelor riding all these volcanoes, and there's like lava rock just piled up all over in there. So there's jumps through the trees, which like we really liked, and all kinds of features and
Caves.
poppers and stuff. Yeah, and then all that.
Yeah. Did a lot of weird cave hopping. It rained while we were there, you know.
I remember that like it
a lot.
poured,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We got like over
inch.
an inch while we were riding.
Yeah.
They did, and then the next day they were supposed to get like 2 inches. So we opted out of that one since
Yeah.
our gear didn't dry out even
Yeah.
overnight. But it was extremely cool. And despite the rain and, you know, poor snowmobiling conditions, we had a blast. We saw a lot of good stuff, and I think it left a really good taste for us to come back and get some more this coming season, hopefully.
Yeah, you're literally riding in like the tops of volcanoes. Like you come up to the
That's
top, you're
crazy.
riding
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
crater.
cool.
They're like treed up now because it's been so long. But yeah, that was super neat. We were there for the Oregon State Snowmobile Association convention.
Yep.
They do it pretty different in Oregon. It's all like grooming funded by fundraising and by the individual clubs, like not by the Forest Service. So the grooming's actually really good, and they do a lot for the snowmobile community and a lot in Washington D.C. even fighting for our sport. You know, taking it to that level of advocacy. So we went and spoke at the convention too, just to share our experience in growing Boondock Nation from being, you know, just a grassroots thing of us in the Midwest to what it is today, and how avalanche safety has been a huge part of our mission and what we do, and getting the awareness side out there. And I think we're seeing that culture progress too over the past few years. So that's been awesome, and it was cool to just meet an entirely new community of people. It felt like home. Honestly, they were so accepting of us. It was great.
Sweet. So that was
Yeah.
Oregon.
Oregon.
That was all before.
That was
the
all
end
in
of
January. Yeah.
Because
We crammed it all in January for sure. A lot of stuff.
We should have mentioned Out West Sled Fest
Oh, yeah.
before
that's
that too.
That's the
Yeah,
end of
Yeah.
January. Well, you guys went to Oregon right after Sled Outfit.
correct.
Right.
We left like the next day.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Out West Sled Fest, Island Park, Idaho. You guys are there. It's a big event. It's becoming a big event, and the whole community has kind of jumped on board. So there's something different going on every night there throughout the week. Lots of people come to town now for that event. So we've got some big plans for that next year.
Yeah.
Just based on the success we've had the last couple of years.
Yeah, I know when we talk with our people, it's like if you are planning a trip out west, this is the week to do it because you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. You're going to get more other people who you may know or be familiar with are going to be in town. They're all going to be in one centralized place. If you're going to go to the Island Park, Teton, West Yellowstone area, like that's the week to do it for sure.
That is true. It's very unique seeing all of those people from the industry in one spot. It doesn't happen very frequently.
Yeah, and lots of newcomers each year too. And like this year, the snow wasn't the best in Island Park.
Yeah.
And the event was still a huge hit. I mean, there's better snow pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
But it just, I mean, to me, that proved that snowmobilers are out there for the community as well. Like it is, like you can have great riding in epic snow, but it really is all about who you ride with.
Yeah.
So getting to meet new people and not only us, but all the people that are there, like getting to network with others and make new riding groups and friends and stuff like that. I think it's a really cool opportunity. So that was January. February threw us a bit of a curveball. We headed out to Colorado, or down to Colorado, I should say, to do a tour through Grand County. We were going to hit Kremling, Granby, and Grand Lake. So Kremling's known for rabbit ears, obviously pretty legendary. But then we headed out to ride the burn that happened in the East Troublesome Fire back in the fall of 2020. So this burn covered like 125,000 acres, ton of public land, ton of private land too, lost a ton of homes. And it had been closed to access for safety reasons over the past couple of years because of like falling trees and everything that can happen with a big burn like that. But this year it opened up to riding. So
Was it pretty epic?
Very
I mean, I
cool.
can imagine it just cleans the ground right up, right?
Yeah, they have access to places that they said were never rideable before. So there's a lot of cool terrain, and yeah, they're definitely making the most out of it down there, and it's starting to get a little bit of positive light that way, which is great.
yeah, cool. So we did 2 days in each of those destinations, and then we were going to leave straight from there with the truck and trailer to drive back to Wisconsin and Michigan and go ride the UP of Michigan. But there was no snow.
So
Like literally no
no,
snow.
no
yeah,
snow.
trails never even opened back in the Midwest this year. in Wisconsin.
Yeah, in northern Wisconsin.
In
at
northern
least.
Wisconsin.
I
Yeah.
mean, I asked my 95-year-old grandmother who's lived up there like most of her life if she's ever seen a winter like this, and it was a resounding no.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't have that. I mean, I've rarely seen the trails like not open at Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually beginning of December. So definitely a hard hit for a lot of the businesses up there, and that was the only thing we weren't able to accomplish this
Yeah.
year.
Out of your control, but
Yeah.
still, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Still a bummer.
But
Yeah.
we still had an event to go to and some reason, you know, we want to see our family. Like, we're out here for a long time. So Dylan's got a wife. You know, back
Might
home,
be
so-
nice to see the wife like
Yeah.
So
at least one time.
yeah,
in the
so we had a
winter.
change of plans, drove back up here, hopped on a flight and flew back for a week or so. And then from there, we flew out to the East Coast and began the East Coast mission.
Yep, we had a lot of travel just flying, obviously, to get out to the East Coast. Flew into Portland, Maine, got in after some delays at about 10 p.m. Chet from Backwoods BMP picked us up, and then we drove 12 hours north up to Quebec to ride the Gaspé Peninsula there with the sled den. I don't know
Yep.
if you're familiar with the sled den at all. Yeah. They got a lot of snow. They had like a big nor'easter come through 3 days before we were supposed to leave. We had our tickets like planned out in advance, so we just extended the trip a little bit on either end, or on the back end, and got up there and made it happen. It was really cool.
Yeah. You guys, it looked like you guys were in like some tight windows.
It's
in some of
really
those
tight
drainages.
trees.
Extremely.
Like, you find an opening about this big, it's kind of a little honey hole. Like, it's tight.
It's tough. Yeah.
There's all different size trees. Like, their regeneration there is really different. Out here, you'll have like stands of consistent sized trees. There, it's all different. So there's all kinds of little trees and stuff, and there's air pockets around them. The snow consistency is wild. Your tracks set up really quick because of, like, the humidity. And I don't know, that those all were adversities that like we weren't expecting, I guess. But the reward was there. I mean, there's 4,000 feet of elevation change in some of these mountains.
Wow.
We were staying at like 20 feet elevation, like right on the ocean. And then you ride up to like 4,000 feet. So
Yeah.
there's real mountain
crazy,
riding there. Yeah, there's just nothing above tree line. You know, it's all tight drainages and stuff like that. But probably not the ideal place to learn how to ride off trail, but for an experienced rider, is a fun challenge.
And I'm sure when like you get the POW when it's the day after the big dumping, it's all time riding up there. It's really cool.
They said they were down about 6 feet of snow. There's 6 feet on the ground. They said they usually have over 10. So I'm sure it would have looked a lot different with that extra snow
Yeah.
too.
A little bit more clean on the bottom, probably.
Yeah, yeah. So that was just something that not many people get to experience. We were having a great time up there. It's totally foreign. I mean, it feels, well, you are in another country. We're in Canada, but everybody's speaking French. You know, you're just in these little coastal towns up there on the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It's pretty wild.
Well, you had mentioned something. I think you were like, it is crazy to be on a snowmobile on a mountain with the Atlantic Ocean as your backdrop. Like, you just don't see that very
No,
often.
yeah, definitely like a once in a lifetime type experience for sure.
Yep. So that was a highlight of February. That wrapped up February for us, and then we headed back out here. Took a trip to Cody, Wyoming, to Top of the World Resort. That's kind of north of Cook City, between there and Red Lodge. They closed the road up there, Beartooth Pass, and we park, you know, where the road ends and ride in to Top of the World Resort. And that was a cool little retreat. Check out up there with Mason Miller and his family. They've got a really cool deal going on. So that was cool. Once we got back out in the west, exploring yet another new area, and we rolled into the Jackson Hole Hill climbs. And you know how that is. Tons of people come to town for that.
Yeah.
So we were doing some pretty cool rides around here.
That's probably like the next, if you were to plan a trip out here and you only got one shot, that's probably like the next week to plan, because you've got Jackson Hole Hill climbs. It attracts a lot of people to one spot. And if you can extend it or stay a week, you can even tap into spring fever.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Down in Utah with what you guys do. So
Exactly. And March just seems to always deliver.
Yeah.
Too. Like, in the 7 years, this was our 7th winter out here. In the 7 years that we've been out here, March is just always epic.
Yeah.
You know, you get big
It's like
pow
the
dumps.
safest
you
month
get-
probably.
It
to
is,
be out
yeah,
there,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and there's plenty of coverage. So, yeah, definitely recommend that to people. You know, when winter is over elsewhere, it's still on out here. So Jackson Hole Hill Climb is always cool. We never miss it. We got a ton of friends that come to town for that. And then like Spring Fever, new event.
That was a great success. The beater cross race was extremely fun that we had out there. Hoping to ramp that up in a big way for next year. And the lodge is great. You know, it was like a chalet style setup out there. Everyone's, you know, hanging out, riding around the track. It's nice weather in the evening on Friday night. Nate's out there flipping burgers and just having a good time. It was really cool. Music going, great vibe.
Sweet.
It's definitely going to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Huge shout out to everyone that came out this year. I mean, there's quite a few people there, and I know sky's the limit with that event. I mean, Beaver Creek Lodge is just so cool.
Yeah.
So we took care of everyone with some T-shirts that came through, and we're stoked to roll in next year and like just ramp that one up big time.
Nice. So that's like end of March, and then April's kind of just
Wrap it up
where there's snow. Let's go chase it, and until it's time to go home.
Pretty much. We like to go take the last couple of weeks of April, like you said, go chase the snow around here. There's a lot of big country to get into that we don't really ride any other time of the year.
Yeah.
Can't really do it. So we're always just antsy to go do some of that stuff, and then ended on a high note for sure.
Cool. So that was like your in-season recap, right?
Yeah.
If we could talk about like May, June, July, August.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of us get to see, like, oh, we know where they are, what they're doing during these months, but like, what are you doing in May? In the month of May, you guys go home, right? What do you guys do?
We immediately start breaking down this whole season and planning out next season. Like, we're already planning next season. We've already met with the team at Out West Sled Fest, you know, at Sawtell Mountain Resort in planning for next year. You know, we've done that with some of our other partners that we're working with for next season to make next season happen. So that work really begins now. We're lucky that our minds never really leave snowmobiling, you know. So we learned a lot this year too, just being on the road more than ever and filming more than ever. You know, there's just a lot to break down from the entire season and how we can optimize for next year. Plus, we've got all those broadcast episodes to edit too for the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, so May is a lot of the results reporting, renewing a lot of our sponsors.
Yep.
And then July, Jordan is working on in the background, honestly, throughout the entire summer to kind of edit all these 8 broadcast episodes that Jack was talking about, and then any other digital stuff that we have held over that we plan to release in the fall that we already shot.
Yeah. Do you guys save some stuff for the broadcast, or is it?
It's saved. Yeah, we save.
You don't publish it on your YouTube. You hold on to some of that stuff for the broadcast.
Yeah,
that's gotta be hard.
It is hard. We save some of the best shots for broadcast actually. So all these videos that we released this year were so awesome. Like some of the best content we've ever done, but it's like 90% of what it could be. You know, so we save the sexiest stuff for the broadcast, and that's like the most polished content that we have. You know, that goes into audio engineering, and it goes into, you know, professional color grading and all kinds of these things that are needed for broadcast. So they're masterpieces when they're done, in my opinion.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's evolved a lot over the years. But it's become a big part of what we do, even though broadcast, like TV in general, is all changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we also do distribution, which I guess a lot of people don't know, on a ton of different networks now. So our goal is to get snowmobiling out there to like as wide of an audience as possible.
So when you say distribution, are you saying you're taking your broadcast content and getting it distributed on different networks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as well as our digital content too. So we developed a Boondock Nation Plus app. That's on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, like basically all your smart TV platforms, and Vizio. But Vizio is unique where it's standard on every television. So if you have a Vizio, you can go on your smart home, and it's under the sports and fitness category. We're like top 5 app in the sports and fitness category. So
who's putting this stuff on there? Like, are you guys going home and just coding away or what?
No, we're not coding away. Fortunately, we have a little bit of support. My family's background is in media and marketing and ad placement and stuff like that. We've got a couple other television series in the Midwest that we've been doing for like 35 years.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of experience behind us and support where we need it.
To use some of those resources.
Yeah, we have some access to some resources there. But other than that, we're standalone. We do it all ourselves out here.
Yeah. So the app has been, a focus just because TV is changing in that way. So we want to have that out there. But then also Mav TV is nationwide in the U.S. and they've picked up our broadcast stuff. So that airs occasionally on there. Mountain TV is over the air in Colorado. And we're giving them a ton of episodes on like a quarterly basis. And then even like PBS has picked up our show on like a bunch of channels.
Idaho Public TV.
Yeah. So we're really just trying to like cast a wide net, even in Canada, like Rev TV. Canada covers a lot of Canada. There's a couple others overseas, and we're just trying to get snowmobiling out there to as many people as we can. Yeah.
Okay. So that's happening all like May, June, July
a little bit.
July.
We have and then we start to work on like a lot of our trade show planning in July.
You got heydays popping,
August.
creeping up.
Honestly, we're already talking about it. It's a conversation that happens. It seems like it comes up earlier and earlier every year, but a lot of July is focused on that, and then August making sure we got everything tidied up for sure. We got merch to design, any promotions that we want to get together for heydays, and all of our booth layout, all of that stuff. There's a lot of planning that goes into it.
Yeah.
Then September hits.
We roll into the
like
shows. Sleds arrive. Then we're back out here.
We're
and
building
it's game
sleds.
on.
Yeah.
Cool. But there is some fun stuff in the summer too. I mean, well, it's all fun stuff, but we do some summer things as well. Dylan just bought a dirt bike again after a 3-year hiatus.
Coming out of retirement, it's time.
There we go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna add a snow bike kit to it, and you're gonna add that to the fleet, yeah?
No snow bikes. Yeah.
I think I've heard you guys talk about
Not
the snow bike stuff.
not
Probably
the biggest
not
fans.
your cup of tea.
We're snowmobilers.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
If you were in the Chick Chocks snowmobiles, snow bikes would be sweet.
And in the UP of Michigan, honestly, they're pretty cool.
Lower elevation, more power,
cruise all
tighter
over
terrain.
there.
Yeah. But we love the power wheelies that the 850 turbos have out here. But anyway,
So
I do a bunch of water stuff in the summer too, like slalom skiing, surfing, jet skiing, and then we do quite a bit of muskie fishing and other fishing too. Yeah.
awesome. That's one thing. Like we don't go out. We don't go out your way very often in the Midwest, and so when we started going to heydays, we were like, there are a ton of lakes out there.
Yeah.
Like there is so much water everywhere. You just creep up on it because there's trees, and all of a sudden it's like lake. You pull up your Google Maps, and it's just like pop.
In our county,
Lakes everywhere.
in our county back home where we're from, there's like over 1,000 lakes. Like it's over 60% water.
Yeah, I live in Lando Lakes.
Land of lakes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lakes.
So as far as videos go, okay, we'll talk just YouTube. Okay, if we literally pulled up your YouTube account right now, and we're deleting everyone from this season except for one video, you get to keep one video. What video are you keeping on there?
That's really tough. It might be our most recent video.
Yeah, the most recent one is really cool.
Yeah. We set out up a zone we hadn't been in years, and maybe only been in there once or twice, and ended up unlocking a route to another area that is just going to blow like our exploration wide open. Like I can't talk in too much detail without giving it away to the locals that know, but yeah, just the coolest, biggest terrain. We made a sweet loop, had to take the lake back to our trucks. We went up one canyon, came out another, actually hitchhiked. Some of us hitchhiked back.
Oh, wow.
To get to the trucks. We were just like out of fuel, but that was involved in that ride in that video, and I don't know, just definitely one of the most memorable ones.
A lot of good shots in there.
So in that video, you're gonna see like big jumps, scenic terrain, just like epic scenic terrain, and I don't know, just some of the coolest drone shots we've gotten all season.
Sick.
Yeah.
Who's the drone flyer?
All
you guys are
mostly Jordan.
Jordan.
And our friend Matt Baker in this one. He just got the DJI Avata 2 he was at the release in New York City, and then like flew back with it, and we had it on the snow the next day.
Yeah.
For this, so that was pretty cool. And I fly the drone occasionally, not so much this season, but
Nice.
In the past I did a lot more. Yeah.
Nice. If I kind of skipped over this question, but I didn't mean to. But if I am new to Boondock Nation, let's say just the last 2 years I picked you guys up, started following you, is there a really big change, or like what did I miss out on from like the early days of Boondock Nation? Is there like one or two things that you can pinpoint, like as far as big changes in your operation now?
I think our biggest focus in the last 2 years has just been our consistent YouTube and digital content. Like we used to release some YouTube videos throughout the season, but we've really made an effort to make it like every single week from heydays till now. So that's
Just
been
the
like one of the biggest things,
which
the
is the hardest thing
consistency.
to do.
It's hard to do. It's hard to plan out all the time. And we've also this year ramped up, and we went to shot 8 unique broadcast episodes in the past. We've always shot 4 that repeat. So
when you guys are shooting your broadcast, is it like, hey, today's a broadcast day? Or is it like, today's just a day and we're going to pull some stuff for broadcast and then we're going to go YouTube with some stuff?
Yeah.
The other stuff.
Yeah. It depends. It depends on the mission, but there's a lot of days where we're doing, there's a lot of days where we're doing both.
Yeah.
So the talking points just look a little bit different. Like when we're vlogging, Jordan will just like throw the camera in our face and we'll just
Whatever
go.
comes out,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for the broadcast, it'll be more polished, like 2 camera angles, like definitely mic'd up. That
have
type
a
of
little
thing.
outline of what we need to accomplish. And
Yeah,
Nice.
more direct talking to the camera about what's going on instead of just like real time.
Yeah.
You know, like you're there with us. So
Yeah. Okay.
kind of maintaining that fourth wall on the broadcast versus on the digital stuff, we just like let you in completely on the action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So lots of camera, lots of, there's lots of cameras in your guys' faces. What's the most questionable thing that you have filmed, got on camera, but you did not publish it for whatever reason that you can talk about and
Yeah. I don't know.
not have the cops show up?
We filmed some stuff without going into too much detail. We filmed some stuff to mess with our friends. So it'll be like a classic, like a normal outro that we're doing for a video or something.
Yeah.
And we'll just twist it into something completely
It'll
profane usually, and targeted towards some person and send it out to them directly. So they think they're just like watching one of our videos and then
Like, what the heck are you guys doing?
yeah. So we call out
did
our
that a
friends
couple
that way,
times,
like stuff that can never see the light of day. For sure, Jordan makes sure
Send
it's
it, delete it.
Hey, what do you guys
scrubbed
think
off
about
the
the ending to
server.
this video?
Yeah, so we do a bit of that, but I mean, there's nothing to hide really. Most of what we do ends up in the video, and it's like completely natural. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I mean, even like that's one reason that we remain like brand agnostic when it comes to sleds. We ride them all, and we aren't sponsored by like Polaris or Ski Doo because crazy stuff happens with our sleds too. Like I've put a sled in the drink, like sunk a sled in the waterfall. We've had sleds start on fire, explode, just random stuff that if we were getting paid by one of those companies, they probably wouldn't want us to show. So that's one thing we're pretty proud of with Boondock is that we are like very transparent with everything that goes on.
Yeah. There's 2 videos. I don't think we'll have the time to show the videos here, but dude, these 2 videos, the waterfall video,
He's in the water. You good? We good? Someone got a rope? We're gonna have to get that buggy out. Yep.
like, my kids and I were watching that, and we were like frame by frame, like, how the heck did this happen?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's like, you know, so many things were so lucky. Like the snowmobile didn't land on you,
Right.
and if you haven't seen this video, like it was 2 years ago, right? 2 seasons ago.
Yep.
You're with the Black
Cats.
Cats. Yep. And literally, like, you're trying to take a side of a waterfall. You hit it, kind of funky, and it puts you like not over the waterfall, but in the waterfall, and then you fall backwards into it.
Yeah.
And Sled takes a drink.
It did, and I did too.
You did too.
Yeah, we were sitting around there for a while and trying to convince each other to like jump over it.
That was our question we had. Was
Yeah.
like, did you just like the first time up there think you're gonna do this, or was there like some thought and some planning around like how would we pull this off?
Yeah, there was definitely some deliberation. I was really pushing for Kyle Saxton to like jump off this pillow above it and land where I went up. I used that as a landing, but then there's like a hole down there below it that he probably would have gone right into. So I don't know. We're all trying to convince each other to do different things, and I somehow got convinced to try and side hill above all of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's gonna be such a cool shot though with like this water and the sun, you know, and you just like side hill in this super steep thing. I'm like, okay, so I came in. I'm like, I just gotta be light over that tree, because if my track spins on that tree at all, it's gonna slide down.
Yep.
I'm gonna wash out across this steep spot. I'm like, I just need to get my ski into Cody's track. It's not that far, and I'll be home free. And I'm coming up. I'm like, don't think about it, just do it. And I'm coming up to it, and then I noticed this like stump that I didn't notice at first. So I had to ski, like, come a little bit, maybe 6 inches or a foot out from the trees, and I thought I'd have to, and I just lightly went over that tree like I planned to do. And then all of a sudden I feel the sled just like drop out from underneath me, and then when it did grab,
and then your stomach dropped too.
yeah,
Like,
and when it did grab, the sled, you know, turned and my face hit the panel, I knew it was all over. Like I had lost it. So I let go, and my next focus was like, just get on your feet and get away from this thing, because like that.
Did you know
that
how
is
much water?
people
Like,
die.
could you see? Could someone be like, "Hey, it's probably like 3 feet of water down there"?
We didn't realize it was that deep. For
No,
sure.
we thought we could see some like rocks and stuff, so we thought it was just like a foot deep
Yeah.
or something.
Okay.
It was almost up to my
Yeah,
neck.
because the
Yeah,
snowmobile
it
was gone. Like,
Yeah. I was standing on the side of the tunnel, and I was still like up to my knees or so. So that was eventful. We ended up, you know, they got me out. I started to get cold. Got back to the truck. Cody Monroe, local there, he's got a lot of heli friends, but his guy was like in Boise for the day, so we thought we were coming back the next day to get it. I get back to the place, Airbnb, dry up clothes, you know, coming back, I get a text, we got a heli. Like, okay. I get back to the parking lot, the sled's there.
Yeah.
So it was that fast. I never even met the guy. I just Venmo'd him for the extraction.
Yeah.
And then immediately got to work taking that thing apart and drying it out. And the sled ran after that. Yeah. Ran great, actually.
Cleaned it all out, huh?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. I mean, I did. I pulled out all the stops, but yeah, that was very eventful.
Yeah. The other one, and we watched it here because we're like, how are you walking still? Okay, I forgot where you guys were at, but you hit that knob. And there was like a tree or something, and then you basically just did a flip, like in the air.
The Superman?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was scary
There was
to watch.
like a lot of time you were in the air, like not on the machine. How was the landing on that? Like, was it? I mean, because it seems like your shoulder. I mean, okay, let me back up. Cats always land on their feet,
Right.
right? Supposedly. it seemed like your body naturally knew what to do to not like land on your head and neck.
Yeah.
Like, cause you like maneuvered in the air and kind of took it like, kind of like this, right?
Yeah.
With your shoulder side.
I'd never been I had never had a feeling like that. I'd never been in a situation like that before. What had happened was on this particular jump, there's almost no lip. You just kind of ride off it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And it's a tabletop to a pretty sweet landing. And we've hit this jump probably 50 times before.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, very familiar jump to us. But there's a bush in the takeoff that has grown over the past couple of years. So as we were hitting it more and more, this bush became exposed. And Dylan hit it a couple of times. I came in on my 146 turbo and just like caught the perfect traction through his rut. And I've got my suspension set to be pretty like reboundy at this point because there's no lip on that jump. And I hit the bush with my track and it just bucks me.
Pop the back. Yep.
Yeah, and I feel my feet and like hips just go weightless. Next thing I know, my feet are above my head. And all my head wants to do is go to the ground. It felt like I was diving off, a boathouse or something in the summer, except I'm 40 feet off the ground and this is hard snow, that I'm going to land on. So I was kind of freaked out, but something happens when you're in those situations where your like
Natural
prefrontal
instincts,
cortex shuts down. You go in completely subconscious, like flow state. And
You were in flow state out there, dude.
Completely. I mean, it's amazing the amount of time. It felt like I thought an hour's worth of thoughts in a matter of 2 seconds. And your body somehow figures these things out. I read a book about this not too long ago called The Rise of Superman that was recommended to me by a friend after I had a gnarly bail about a year ago and broke 2 ribs like in my back. And they talk about near fatal falls and how your body just goes into this state of crazy amounts of thought and you're able to do things that there's no playbook for. They talk about big wave surfers, when jet skis were invented and guys are getting towed into 80-foot waves. Or like the dude that jumped the Great Wall of China on a skateboard. It's not like ball sports. It's not like league sports or anything like that where there's standards.
Yeah.
These are just completely unprecedented things and your body's able to figure it out. So pretty fascinating. You can tap into that in other ways other than near fatal falls.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, to walk away from that was remarkable because I seriously thought I was breaking my neck. So I was able to get away from the sled, get my head kind of around and roll onto a shoulder. And I felt almost no pain from it. Rode the rest of the day. I had a little bit of muscle soreness the next day, but
Wow.
Could have ended very badly. I
Yeah.
seriously thought I was breaking my neck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously glad you didn't, but
Me too.
I mean right? Like that, you watch that video over and over and you're just like, how did he like walk away from this, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Scary moment this season for sure.
yeah. Well, so we're still rolling here, boys.
Sweet.
You got a toughie. You ready for this one?
Okay.
You guys spent a lot of time together. You guys ever calculated how much time? I mean, like maybe.
We've tried to calculate how much time we've spent in the truck, I feel like, before.
Yeah.
But it's not math you want to do.
It's not right. Lots of time.
Yeah.
Tell us about a time that you guys had your biggest blow up, disagreement with each other. Because no one sees that on camera.
No.
And I mean, maybe you guys are like a yin and yang here, but like, is there a time that you can recall? Like, yeah, that was our biggest blow up.
I don't know if there really has been.
No.
Honestly.
I mean, back in the day.
All right, Jordan.
No, Jordan can attest to this. Like I think we communicate pretty well and we don't argue much at all, which is wild. Because we spend like every waking moment together in the winter.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like we're living together, but also like working on the same projects and we're like equally invested in these projects and problems and solutions. Right? So like it's not even like a spouse where you have separate jobs most of the time.
Yeah.
Like we're literally working on the same thing morning till night and spending all this time together and being on the road
Yeah.
too. So I think back
And
in
constantly like filming each other too and being filmed. So
Yeah.
I don't know, you just don't really think about it, I guess. We're always just doing our thing. We haven't really had maybe when we were like teenagers and like 17 years old or something like that, when we were first becoming adults and trying to figure this thing out. But
Now you're grown, man.
we're grown, and we're like, like Jack said, we're invested in this together. We have the same mission and vision, and it's smooth sailing. I think we're very lucky.
Yeah, and I think that does come a little bit with maturity too. Like, you know, if this isn't going to matter in 5 years, like this issue at hand, is it really worth like arguing about and burning the whole house down about type thing? Like, we're both, you know, working towards a common goal. So even if there are bumps along the road, sometimes you just have to put your own feelings aside to get through that. Yeah. And it's all like, look at where we are now. It's all worked out great. So I think that's one thing that I keep in mind too. But yeah, we do spend a ton of time together. So it's a really unique relationship. And I think, you know, in a lot of cases, partnerships in business don't always work. But we've definitely got a unique relationship. And I think despite all the adversity we faced over the years, you know, and despite all the travel and tensions being high at times, we've done a really good job of keeping it together.
Mm-hmm. Well, kudos.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I would have thought there would have been, you know, some moments, but
no, back in the day, perhaps.
Yeah. There's also 2 more of us to help egg it on too, you know?
Right. So. Yeah. We started with 4 originally. Colin and Ryan were co-founders of Boondock Nation. Mm-hmm. So some of our early trips out west, you know, we'd like
messing with each other.
Yeah. We were always messing with each other. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, here's a fun question for you guys. All right, you guys are, if you had to, Polaris or Ski Doo, not like which side do you want to take?
Like one, like each of us.
Yeah, like I'm gonna ask this question.
Okay, I'll take the Polaris side.
Take the Polaris side.
I'll take the Ski Doo side. Sure.
Okay, so if you were a key major decision maker at Polaris or Ski Doo, okay, you hold the keys. You're the lever puller, okay, on big decisions. What would be 1 or 2 of the most immediate changes you would make today about the machine that you're riding?
You know, I think the machines are pretty refined to the, you know, where they are today. It's they seem to be like reaching their peak form.
Sure.
In a sense, on the engineering side, you know, kind of like a cell phone. We're figuring out, you know, what's the optimal size, what's the optimal, you know, battery life, this and that. I think snowmobiles are getting there, but there's definitely a few things that could be resolved. You know, I think in the name of like profitability, some of the quality control issues have come to light, especially since COVID. You know, and this could be for a variety of reasons, but I think that's something we're starting to see, and you're seeing more and more warranty claims. At least it feels like seat of the pants with some issues that really shouldn't be issues. So I would look at, you know, some of the costs that have been pulled out of the machines over the past few years, and maybe look at, you know, making things stronger in the first place, so to speak.
Okay.
You know, you look at like these clutch issues that Polarises have had, and the billet spider that came out. Like maybe that should have been done in the first place.
Yeah.
Was it a cost-saving measure to pull that out? You know, to cast it in the first place? I don't know. But it just seems like we've seen that among machines in the past few years. So I mean, if we're paying a premium for these sleds, like I would rather pay, I hate even saying it, a little bit more to have a machine that I know isn't going to have like quality control issues like that.
Sure. Okay.
I think Ski Doo, like, it's such a reliable machine. Being on them for the last few years, I love a lot of the creature comforts of it for sure, especially the shot start. Obviously, that's not new, but that's just so nice having. But the technology, you know, compared to like the Polaris 7S, I think the screen, it's cool, but it's not useful necessarily. And it would be extremely cool if all the screens work together, right? Like that's the future. Like if you go out fishing, you know, if you go out fishing, you're using your waypoints, you got your maps of the contour of the lake, and you can track your route and all of that stuff. Like you know exactly what point has what. You do the same thing hunting on your map. Like your sled should be able to do that too.
Yeah.
And to be able to talk with each other is the future for sure.
That's a great idea. So, yeah, maybe it's something like, you know, all the companies working together to not only improve that, because that's a major thing, but just safety in the backcountry in general. You know, because I see that as a safety thing for sure, is, you know, keeping track of your group and not getting separated. And that, you know, who knows how many lives that could save down the road, but then also taking that to like the avalanche safety side of things.
Yeah.
You know, because that threatens our sport in a sense and threatens the people that do it. And the sleds are getting more and more capable each year.
Yeah.
You know, people are getting further and further into the backcountry each year. So, I don't know, some sort of contribution to the common good of snowmobilers from all angles would be awesome.
Like it. Cool. I've got a little surprise for you guys real quick.
Oh boy, we like those.
Got a couple surprises. Let's see, which one are we going to pull out first? We're going to pull this one out first. Let's see. You guys take art class?
In middle school.
Let's see. Choose your color.
Go with green.
Okay, do a test real quick. Let's make sure we can see that. Color's looking good?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. This is going to be a rapid fire. How well do you know each other round?
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you guys questions. You're going to write it down on there, and then we're going to show and see how they align with the two of you.
Okay.
Okay. So we got cameras rolling. Hopefully it doesn't glare too bad on there, but we'll read them out loud. Okay. So we'll kind of start easy. Okay. We'll go easy first. Okay. When and where was the first time you guys met? And no peeking, all right? Let's. And we're going to go quick through these, okay? We're going to go quick.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. We've got middle school NPMS. I'm guessing that's the name of your middle school?
Yeah.
Yep.
Middle school football.
6th grade
probably.
football. So
Yeah.
football. So you both did football in middle school.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got football players right here. Okay, you guys ready? You got to be quick. Here, we're rolling.
Okay. Roll it.
Okay, how many siblings does each of you have?
This is answering for the other, or
So you write how many? Yeah, sorry. Yep. 2, 0. Are we correct?
Yep.
Only child.
I am.
There we go. Okay.
Yep. And my real name's John. That's something you probably didn't know.
John. We already had one
Yep.
of these
And
on the
Dylan's-
my
show.
real name is Richard.
Are you kidding me right now?
No. We
So
live in
what-
LA.
what's going on?
Yeah, we're just like that.
aliases.
Really?
No, Dylan's my middle name. I've
Okay.
been called that my entire life, so that's not new.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Legally
John the
Richard.
Fourth.
John the Fourth.
So that just gets a little redundant. Yeah.
We're going to call this guy John the Fourth from here on out. Okay, you got that? Write that down. Okay, what's each other's favorite food?
Oh,
How well do you know? I mean, you guys spend all this time together. Shouldn't you know what's the go-to on the menu?
that's tough.
Or at home when
That's
you're
tough.
cooking?
It's a variety.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
ready?
struggling. No, I'm not even
Oh,
done. I'm struggling
whoa.
with this one.
I don't know either. I'm just sending it.
Wait.
Oh, we got a redo. Okay. Mexican food and venison. I mean, how close are we here?
I eat Mexican food like 3 times a week at least. So
Okay, so
yeah,
would you
that's
agree with that?
It's probably my most common. Yeah, I don't
Yeah?
know if it's my favorite, but it's my most common. Yeah.
Okay,
I always bring a deer out here from hunting season for the winter, so I eat a lot of venison.
nice.
We love wild game.
Yeah.
That sounded really funny,
Yeah.
just so you know. I always bring a deer out here. In what form?
Well, the frozen form.
The frozen
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. And we're gonna get into some toughies right here. You ready for this?
I don't know.
What is each other's biggest superpower? Meaning, like, Jack, what is Dylan the best at? You know, and then vice versa. Like, what's the best trait? Like, they are the best at this thing. Okay. Dylan's writing a book over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no, he's not. Okay. So Jack is saying Dylan his superpower is organization and stability.
Yeah, I mean, like just getting us on track and staying on track, like that.
So that's kind of like
Yeah.
how the vibe I get from you guys is, and you said social media.
Social media and promotion.
So you're the one out here that is like, big dream. Let's go see if we can pull this off and do this. And Dylan's like, okay, checklist, step by step. This is how we would get this, actually do this thing. Is that kind of how?
It's kind of how it works.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we complement
overlap
each
a
other
little
nicely
bit,
that
but
way. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just naturally different tendencies
Yeah.
in a sense. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna flip the script. Okay, that was the biggest superpower. What's the biggest weakness? What is he the worst? What are you the worst at? Okay, no offense is going to be taken here. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, boys. And we've got people checking cameras because, and we're still rolling strong here, guys. Love it.
We had terrible
Biggest-
handwriting, so apologies.
Biggest weakness. Here we go. Okay, so Jack is saying Dylan is a late nighter.
Not a late
Not a
night.
late
Oh,
nighter.
biggest weakness.
Yeah, not late
Not
nighter.
late
Yeah.
nighter. And maintenance. Is this
Yeah.
like doesn't clean his bedroom or what?
No, just like the machines.
Oh,
I feel like
maintenance on
sometimes,
machines.
yeah. Especially when I mean, it's not all the time, but
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the season, you got 3 machines. It's not hard to let them go.
Yeah. It piles up.
Okay.
And I'm just so, late, a lot of late nights in the shop and I just get burnt out.
Yeah. Okay.
Rightfully so. He's done more maintenance than anyone.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the last few years have been bad.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're gonna answer for each other again here, right? I'll use Jack's name though. Okay, just for the example. If Jack wasn't part of Boondock, what would he be doing? So vice versa. If Dylan wasn't part of if Boondock Nation did not exist, what would you be doing? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. He'd be doing something with fishing. He'd be fishing all the time.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then, so Jack, yeah.
Sorry,
Ben's
I put
camp.
Ben's camp on there. Jack's
Yeah.
always at Ben's.
Yeah.
He's,
In-
I didn't know which context to take it,
Yeah.
but Jack spends a lot of his time in the summer at Ben's.
So you would end up spending more time there.
yeah. Who knows? I've maybe even owned the place by now.
There you go.
No, that's a cool creative outlet for me too. I do a ton of like wearables and merchandise there, and the
cool.
marketing and event planning. We're doing some pretty cool things. So it's a bit of a passion project as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could pick one person and one person, so you're answering for each other again. Okay, if you could pick one person and one person only to ride with for one day, who would it be? Let me back up. There's going to be 2 names on your boards. Your person, and who
Okay.
do you think the other person is going to choose?
Okay.
So if you could only ride with one person and one person only, who would it be? Answer for yourself. Who do you think the other person would choose?
Wow, that's tough.
You only get one. Who's it going
We
to be?
rode with like
And it
165
can't be each
people
other.
this
Okay,
year.
so
It can't be.
no, we're calling someone out right here.
And it can't be Jordan too.
Can't be
We'll
Jordan.
say
No,
that.
this is someone who you rode with or have ridden with. Is that a word?
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we got 2 names here, right? Okay, first answer.
This is tough.
This is so hard.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
No. I'm thinking.
You got 10 seconds.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with Jack over here. So Jay Mandenberry.
Love riding with Jay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he thinks Dylan would choose Joel Tingy.
That's pretty
JT.
good. Yeah.
Oh, hey, not bad.
I guess
you
I didn't
got him right on.
I didn't delineate. but I put-
Yeah.
Yeah. I put
Bo.
Bo, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jay.
So you would choose
Blaine.
right with Bo,
Yeah.
and then there you go.
Yeah.
That's who we picked. There we go. I like it.
Yeah. I spent some time with Jay back in the Midwest last summer or the summer
Yeah.
before, and we've gotten to know, both of us have gotten to know him and Blaine really well over the years. And Joel, I don't know, Joel's an OG, and he's ridden with us a ton. We love Joel. But Bo, like, my first ride out here ever, once I moved out here, was with Bo.
Yeah.
And we were just getting together for dinner Friday
The other
night.
night, yeah.
We're always spending
He
time
came out to
together,
my
so.
wedding. Like,
Nice.
Bo's a homie for sure.
Yeah.
He's a good time on the snow. He's
Got
never
a great
a dull
laugh,
moment.
too.
Yeah,
He does,
exactly.
yeah.
It's just
It's infectious.
Yeah.
How can you not like
Yeah.
him?
How did I not think of Bo?
Okay. If you're answering for yourself now.
Okay.
Okay. If you could have dinner with one person throughout the history of time, who's that person?
Throughout the history of time.
Yeah, who's that person you're gonna get to bring back and have dinner with, or it could be someone in the present.
Wow.
And let's take family out. Like I'll have dinner with my grandpa or my
Yeah, yeah,
great-grandpa.
yeah.
Let's take like
Yeah.
a someone of significance. No offense to the grandpas out there.
Yeah.
And we'll excuse wives too, just so you don't get in trouble.
I don't even know. I'm drawing blanks right now. This is wild. It's like too much
It's a
to
tough
think
question.
about.
Yeah.
When you're on the spot, you're like, do I even know anyone?
Yeah, exactly.
How do I not know
I know
anyone?
someone though.
Okay. You have one? You ready, Jack?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, who do we got?
I said Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, I just watched that movie with my boys.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read the Meditations recently. I think it's really relatable, despite that guy, living in 50 AD.
Yeah.
The most powerful man in the world, but adopted kind of a stoic mindset. Would be very interesting.
Okay. Mr. Joe.
Joe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting one, yeah.
That dude
Talk about
present time.
podcasts.
knows
Yeah.
a lot of stuff about a lot of things, has heard a lot of stuff about a lot of things.
I know.
Be cool to get snowmobiling out there
Yeah.
through his channels too.
Yeah.
He's becoming the wisest man in the world
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
through his podcast. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. That was fun. Okay, here's an interesting one. You ready?
Yes.
What is the most bizarre rumor you've heard about yourself?
I don't know if I've ever heard a rumor about myself. I mean, I had to have, but
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Do we
is a
write it
tough
down?
one. Maybe you don't need to write it down if it's kind of like a sentence, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't know. People ask if we're gay.
I guess that's one for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think about it.
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely not. We've
I
got
don't
a
know if you can
married
put that
man
in there or not, but
yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird.
no, that's probably the wildest
The
rumor.
wildest. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the question was.
Yeah.
The craziest
Yeah.
rumor.
Yep,
Okay.
definitely
All
not.
right. What's the strangest talent you possess? Answer for yourself. The strangest talent you possess. And while you are answering that question, got another little surprise cooking up here, boys.
Okay.
I hope technology works.
I don't even know what to say here.
We got it?
I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Strangest.
Drums, rhythm. Play the drums.
I don't know.
Always.
Fishing.
Said fishing. I'm obsessed with fishing in a weird way, like probably more than most people.
Yeah. Okay.
Extremely
Extremely
knowledgeable.
into it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
snowmobiling and fishing.
Yeah.
I'm always like tapping on the steering wheel, tapping on my legs. Like my internal monologue runs on a beat. It's just a huge part of my life. So I'm always like doing rhythmic stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm working on something right here real quick. Okay. I'm trying to see if we're going to make this work. You ready for this?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, it saved it all. Okay. You guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we got here, boys? Who we calling? Any guesses?
Couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Fingers crossed.
Come in.
Oh my goodness.
We got someone. Hey. Hold on. Let's see if we can go FaceTime.
Hello. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Any guesses who we got here?
Oh, I wouldn't mistake that voice for
I know who
anybody.
it is.
Okay, hold on. Oh, dude.
What do we got
you are
going
looking
on
good.
here, team?
Hey, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hey, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, no funny business yet. Okay, hold on 1 sec.
I'm gonna put this down before I run it over. Oh, God.
I'm frozen, I think.
Not in my book.
There we go. Okay, boys, who do we got on the line here?
We got
It sounds like Chet from Backwoods.
Yeah. So I was talking to
Driving
Chet
the
saying we were
forklift.
having some guys coming in tonight, and he said, I've got some questions for those guys. And so I don't know what he's going to ask. I thought maybe we would chat about a couple things. One would be maybe if there was any behind the scenes stuff that didn't make the video when you guys went out there. Because it sounds like it was pretty, like just the trek journey in general was pretty wild. And the other thing is like, you guys mentioned it, Chet, obviously you weren't piped in here, but man, a lot of snowmobilers are down this year, like took a beating. And if we could talk about heydays and like maybe what some potential plans are that could be popping at heydays to get people stoked and fired up to come back to snowmobiling and be excited for the upcoming season, what would be those things like that Chet and Dylan and Jack would say? So, you know, to get people stoked about heydays.
Yes.
We got a lot of amazing stuff in the works. All of us do. Chet, Jack, myself, like we're all working at this stuff. We got Power Hour coming hard and strong, bigger and faster than last year. That was new.
Yeah, that
last
was
year
new.
we kind of pulled off. Yeah, getting a bunch of creators involved. Caleb, Kyle, Matt, Muskoka Freerider, Turcotte. That was super cool.
Yeah.
And
That was just the test run. We
That
had to make sure that the baby could fly.
Exactly. And one thing I've been thinking about too is, you know, a lot of people that didn't use their sleds as much as they usually would this year, maybe instead of ordering a new sled, they're just going to like dial up their sled for
True.
next year,
True.
right? So I think at heydays, you know, if you come to the Power Hour, you've got a chance to win a bunch of sweet stuff for your sled. I mean, Chet was throwing out golden tickets like candy
Jeez.
last year for $1,000 this, $1,000 that,
Yeah.
bumpers here, bumpers there. So you may have a chance to dial in your 24 or, you know, whatever sled you're keeping for another year at heydays, at Power Hour, through the giveaways and whatever we've got going on in our booth too with giveaways, or the discounts and all the other promos that are going on that weekend. But
Yeah.
Yeah, every time we get together, you know, we always joke we're only going to scratch the surface. Let's not dive in too deep. You know, we're all biting at the bit to come up with ideas and stuff, which is easily my favorite part with hanging out with you guys. And now Trevor starts, you know, he has the same influence too. Yeah, I'm excited for the potentials. It's gonna be bigger than last year. That's for sure. We were able to learn a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
so
really
good
no.
to see you guys.
You too,
You
Chet.
too.
He that looks like a new building, dude.
Oh yeah, well, this is my best. I just keep this thing on all the time because it looks
Nice.
better than the other side that I'm looking at. But oh yeah, we're getting moved in
Get moved
slowly.
into the new digs, huh? There you
Last
go.
time we were in that building, we were smashing snowmobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, actually, while
that
we have you online, Chet, I was going to ask you this. There's no better place to do it in a public setting like this. When you guys published that video, okay, there were like 3 other people who trashed their sleds, saved by Backwoods. Chet, is that just really good marketing? Did you guys plan that?
Now,
did
are
that-
we talking about in shop, or are we talking about the guys?
The guys out in the wild.
Yeah,
Levi
that'll
Green,
happen.
I think.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
smoked
that's
that
true.
tree
Yeah,
so
Levi Green.
like, and then who was it with
Flying squirrel.
Muskoka?
McMurray.
Yeah, like there was all like the same week when you guys were out there
Chet
doing
was
these
there.
tests.
I think Chet was
So
there.
that's what was funny is because our reference point, we did some quick calculations. We had Chase Mann and Jack going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, it's a reference point what we took those videos of, and then all of a sudden you see these guys out in the wild. Those were big impacts, man. And those weren't, nearly as hard as what I believe we were creating in the shop. So it's nice that we took it to one level, just bored one night on a Sunday, scratching our heads going, what are we going to do tonight? And then to see it in action, right, one after the other. It's almost, I hope it's not like some type of voodoo doll or something, when we do this to a snowmobile and it happens to other people's snowmobiles. But yeah, no, we didn't plan it, but that was a good time.
That was
Definitely learned
awesome.
a thing
I
or
mean,
two.
not everyone was okay, but
Yeah,
great,
right, for sure.
great for the brand, dude. For the brand. Anyways.
Yeah, well, you never
It was
know
fun.
what's going to happen when you're hanging out with Jack and Dylan and the rest of the crew for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
whole trip having those guys was killer. An incredible experience for sure.
One thing that, back to your first question, that people didn't really see in the video was us getting picked up by Chet at 10 p.m. from the airport
And then driving.
with like 3 monsters in the cup holder and then driving in this Wagoneer 12 hours through the night. I think Chet was reading the kilometer per hour signs up in Canada as mile per hour because we're going like 80 pulling this 2-place trailer on the Canadian roads. Like we're trying to sleep, heads banging off the window. Yeah, so no sleeping. And we roll in to town just like groggy as ever, and Chet's just fired up. We go and jump in the ocean and then head out to ride. That was
Seems like a proper way to get yourselves woken
You
up.
guys
Right?
had no idea what was going down. It's so funny because you're right, Jack. When we go back to the episode and then the cut scene between me picking you guys up and then next thing you know, we're in that coastline view and it's like people don't understand the amount of work that goes into, all of your guys' productions, not just this one, but it's crazy. A lot definitely happened and you guys were extremely trusting of the whole event. Which I wholeheartedly appreciate. I remember telling, I grabbed the wheel. I said, don't worry, boys. I'll be your captain tonight. I'll get you there safe. And,
We trusted
that
you.
was when it all started after that, 12, 13 hours later, 30, 40 hours later for you guys or however long.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, 30 hours of straight travel.
Yeah,
Well-
that's how I knew that you guys, I was a little self-conscious about the whole thing with the low snow and, I didn't know what was going to happen. We were shooting from the hip the whole time, but you guys never second-guessed anything. You flew there, you drove there. It was yes, let's go. You really brought the energy, and it just made it that much more natural, that much easier.
I would follow you into the gates of hell, Chet.
Amen to
Awesome.
that. Yeah, it was fun. It was so fun.
Cool. Hey, Chet, you got some work to do. 2 of our cameras just died, so we're dealing
geez.
with that right now.
Very good.
It's late.
Glad to see you guys together. This is good right here. Scheming. I got friends with friends.
Yep.
And, keep in touch. I hope to hear from you all soon.
Okay. All right. Hey, thanks, Chet. Thanks for being available.
Sounds
See you,
great,
Chet.
Chet.
boys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Peace.
That was awesome.
Counting days since my love up and got lost on me.
Is that my Spotify? Jeez, I'm glad. What is this?
And every breath
Nice.
Pretty nice.
Sounds like a nice
Yeah.
little way to send him off, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We end every podcast, gentlemen, the same way. We ask the same question to our guests. There's 2 questions that we ask, okay? And they are you ready? Mm-hmm. So the first question is, I'll give you the questions. You can think about it, and then we'll ask them, okay? New sled. What are the first 3? You only get 3 mods you can make on this machine. First off, what machine is it? And what are the 3 mods you're going to add to it? Okay? So let that sink, let that crank. And then the last question is, what is that big secret that no one that's listening to this podcast knows about you? And you're letting everyone in on that secret on this podcast. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. But guess what? We got another little twist for you guys.
Oh boy. Okay.
What was the first thing you guys did when you got to the location on the East Coast?
We jumped in the ocean.
Yeah. Like a little ice bath?
Yeah. Cold plunge.
Yeah. So guess what? Guess what the twist is, boys?
Are you about to bring out a cold plunge?
We got a cold plunge right here, boys.
No
We got
way.
3 of them.
Are you serious?
So we are going to answer these questions in the cold plunge.
Okay.
And I got swimming suits for you.
Okay.
We got Walmart right next door. So we're going to
Okay.
let you guys change. And then we have
That's
you
not what I was
serious?
expecting. I love it though.
cold plunges right here.
That's what's under those
That's
boxes.
what's under the box. That's
That's
not shipping
unreal.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe
yes.
we can grab this camera right here
That'd be
and see.
sick.
So
It's gonna
they
be like
are.
Kevin Hart, cold as balls.
So we're gonna let this.
Noise settle down for a second.
Yeah, we're gonna just actually walk with me, and we're gonna set this on that cart right there,
Okay.
and then we can just move this around while we get in the.
Dude, no way.
Dylan's got a long drive, so we gotta
Yep.
kind of spike the system a little
I
bit.
can't
right?
believe this. This is great.
This is great.
Okay, let's
This
get
is
this.
actually going to play into one of my answers.
Heck yeah. And if everything, we've never pulled anything off like this, so if audio and video actually stays and works, okay, it'll be just awesome.
Yes, the ice.
So let's get the ice going. Without the ice, we were sitting at, I think 54, but we're gonna try and get this down to about 40.
So you end every podcast the same, you know?
A little warmer than the Atlantic Ocean, I do believe. Okay.
This is great.
And if you're,
Do you want the-
if you're,
these here?
we can move those out of the way. Let's actually take the headsets off, and then you guys, we're gonna go get our swimsuits on. Okay. So. Make sure we put the same ones back on. That was yours?
Yeah.
That was Dylan's? Yep. Okay. We get the camera set.
Oh, this is great.
Okay.
Have you seen the
Walmart
Kevin?
specials.
Yes. Have you seen the Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Cold as balls? Yeah. It's great. All right, cool.
There's 32, 34. So somehow.
Dude, I saw someone was starting to look inside the boxes after the game. I was like, who's you guys with the bikes on? I like scrambled to go over there.
All right, so we are doing a temperature check here. Let's see, what are we sitting at? She's dropping fast, boys. She's dropping fast. Yeah, I mean, it won't be bad. Won't be bad. They all should be about the same. I think we're like mid-40s, so we should be perfect, right? Yeah, we're mid-40s. Mid-40s. 45, we're good. We're good. Okay. Tub of preference.
Wait, tub of preference?
Do you have a tub of preference? You want this one right here?
I don't believe it.
Okay. So this is mine. That's Jack's. This is Dylan. So Dylan, you go in here?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it easier for us to get on the opposite?
Well, nah, we should be good.
Okay.
We're still red there. We still got audio.
Don't hop in yet. Here. Trevor, you putting your mic on?
You want outside?
You want in the middle. I thought.
Oh, you want it?
Yeah.
You want middle?
No.
Right here, right?
Yes. Not that it matters.
You'll get in and I can put it on for you. Or you can.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
Do we need to put them on for them or can they just put it on?
I'm already shaking too.
Let's just put them on and hop in.
Okay. Just throw it on.
Still red.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right, boys, here we go. I try and keep this out so we
cord
won't
out.
get electrocuted. Will we get electrocuted? We won't get electrocuted,
Low
right?
voltage.
Ready?
This ain't bad. You guys remember the questions, right?
I think.
I think so.
Oh, there we go, just like that.
Oh, it's relaxing, isn't it? Gotta get the shoulders under.
The thing with the ice is just gonna get colder, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well,
So, the questions, right?
yep. So I ordered a 2025 free ride 146 turbo for next year. And the 3 things I'm going to put on it first. 1, Raptor Ace, coilover suspension, can't handle the torsion springs. 2, handlebars. Stock bars are too high, even for a guy that's 6'4" like me. And number 3, Munster finger throttle.
Okay.
Dill?
My hands are numb, dude. I'm shaking.
Breathe.
I would also do the Monster finger throttle. That's mandatory.
Dylan's like, just what Jack said.
Love the 3D Logic brake levers as well. And then shorter bar riser, like a 2-inch bar riser.
Yep.
And a free
2-inch.
ride 154 3-inch turbo.
There we go.
And then I would say one thing nobody knows about me is that I'm like extremely fascinated about the human body, wellness, and longevity. Like, I'm not just training for snowmobiling anymore. Like, that's a huge part of what I'm doing. But I'm completely into wellness on the eating side. You know, we love eating wild game, locally sourced food, knowing where our food comes from, organic vegetables. We're actually working with a company called Possible that provides whole food nutrition through like protein bars and powders and stuff. Our friend Jack Dubois introduced us, and they've got a sweet organic farm in our home state of Wisconsin. So I take that stuff very seriously. We all do at Boondock Nation, and I think that's something that's often overlooked and not many people know about us.
Yeah.
You guys doing all right?
Dude, Jack
Jack does this all the time.
He doesn't even have a stutter in his voice.
Jack's trying to be the man right now, and he is.
Go beyond the pain.
It's bad. I do a cold plunge maybe like twice a year just to remember what it feels like, and then
Well,
yeah,
here you go.
it's a lot.
Well, we're almost done. What's your thing, Del?
What does no one know about Dylan?
No one knows about me.
What's that secret?
I spent.
Hey, hold on. His hands are literally purple.
Yeah.
His knuckles are purple.
I've got terrible circulation. No one knows about me. Probably just the amount of time I spend outside, like pursuing animals and fish and the wildlife. Like, I love the outdoors, and I take every single chance I get, even if it's just a couple hours or an hour, to go fishing or hunting or do anything like that. So that's like my biggest passion outside of sledding for sure.
Okay.
Well, this has been an awesome experience, Trevor. Thank you so much for having us.
I don't know if we'll do this again, end it this way, but we figured, hey, Boondock
Starting
Nation.
to acclimate now, though, a little bit, honestly.
Maybe we should. I got a couple more questions. Should we bang it? No, just kidding.
The dopamine is surging.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys stopping in. Are you driving back? You taking the trailer
taking
back?
off in the morning. Yep, taking the trailer back.
So drive safe, and I
Thanks.
guess for us here, we'll see you guys in a few quick 6 months, 4 months at Heydays.
Yeah,
Sounds
let's get out
good.
for
Okay.
a ride next winter.
Yeah, we will. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. You're not getting out of this. Take those headsets off. We're going full dunks. We're going full dunk.
I'll go full dunk.
We're going full dunk right here.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this in slow-mo.
Okay, feet up. Feet up. Feet up. Okay. Feet up. Close your nose. Close your nose. Plug your nose. Are we ready? Yep. 3. Feet up. Yeah, feet up. 3, 2, 1. Game on, baby.
Oh, that's a wrap.
That is right. Whoa. That's cool. Okay, there's one more thing. Just kidding.
We're going skydiving.